you could hear it when he'd go into the turn, shutting down.
Well, it is interesting how, you know, certain things just aren't paid attention to. That was my only issue with the Reitzel deal, is it's like there's all this other stuff that's possibly going on. You're worried about tubing being a little small,
and they never talk about fuel additives.
They never do talk about fuel additives, you know.
It's got to be an issue.
Well, you would think. You would think. By the way, we had to go live at noon, so we can continue talking. This is great stuff. But we are live here at the Coffee Connection, brought to you by Little Speed Shoppy, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. It's a little bit more. Would y'all say there's a lot more people here? Well, they weren't here yesterday, but one guy was. A lot of people here at the Coffee Connection. It seems like the cheeseburger soup is the thing to eat. If you ever have, it sounds crazy, but once again, Little Speed Shoppy, our presenting sponsors, check them out. But it sounds crazy, ladies and gentlemen, but the cheeseburger soup is really good. Is it not? It is just that dang good. We were just talking about stuff. Now, there was some TBA deal that this guy was just talking about over here. I don't know it, but apparently that you had to pick, what was it, the 24 starting cars?
Yeah.
And you picked every single one of them. And one of them was TBA. Lucky? That's it? Okay. We go live, ladies and gentlemen. They don't want to talk to me anymore. They're shy. The old men are shy, ladies and gentlemen. This is what's wrong with America. We have silent. We went too silent. We need to speak up about it. No, I'm just playing. But, of course, last night, David Gravel won. There's the guy walking in with the nice hair. He remembers yesterday. It was empty in here yesterday, was it not? This is completely, I mean, it was me, you, him, and one other guy or something.
Intimate.
The girlfriend was here. I didn't mention that, you know. Got to give a big shout out to the girlfriend. She was a little mad. You didn't mention that I came back home. Well, came over. She's from Decorah. She has a business. She took her day off of her business to come down here just to be at my little live show. But then she had to go back and be there at 10 a.m. So she came to the races last night, went all night long to the racetrack, stayed afterwards, didn't leave until like 11:30, and then got home to Decorah, which is 4 hours away, at 4 a.m., and then was at work this morning. I know, that's what I'm saying. That's tough. But in fairness, I stayed up all the way on the phone with her until she got home. So, equality, you know. First what? It was her first time to the 410. Her first time to Knoxville was 360 Nationals Saturday. She's from the late model world, which the late model world is just completely different than the sprint car world. I say that late model is like capitalist and sprint cars like corporatism. You know, it's kind of a fine thread. You know, one thing's based in business of the single individual man, and the other one's based on a corporation controlling what the single man can do. You know, in the late model world, if you want to be a big super late model guy, you can run any race. There's no one series you have to be in. You go to the big shows, you go to this show, that show, you make money, you make a living. Whereas in the sprint car world, if you want to be the best, you got to go sign a contract and run World Outlaw Sprint Car Series and be told what to do and where to go. And you can't even put on a big 410 sprint car show and get any cars to show up. I mean, look at the Front Row Challenge, $21,000 to win. They get 22 cars. Why is that? You know, that doesn't make sense to me, but anyway, that what I mean, it seems like it. I mean, when you look at how a person becomes a big time name, it's more.
Were you here for the truck race?
I was not here for the truck race. I tried to stay away.
I was just curious if it was successful or whatever.
Well, I mean, I kind of have a joke about them racing on dirt, but it's more one of those deals where it's like they don't really belong on dirt, you know?
Not with a windshield.
And I really don't want NASCAR, because a lot of people don't know about dirt. I mean, you're a little up in age, so racing all kind of forms of motorsports used to be represented. You know, you could see Syracuse big block modifieds on ABC. I mean, they broadcasted dirt racing on nationally televised events. And nowadays, or for the last 30 years, if you don't go out of your way to watch a dirt race, you don't even know it's there. So we live in a society that don't really know what dirt racing is. Now, we understand that sprint cars is like top line, top fuel Formula One level of motorsport. But for regular people, all they ever hear about of sprint, well, they hear about it from Kyle Larson or Christopher Bell, who was 14 years old when they drove them. You know, I say it's strategic. It's in a NASCAR marketing sense, the biggest threat to them is a dirt race. You know, they don't want Knoxville to be bigger than them. So they got to figure out a way to keep it under or keep it low. So if they come on to dirt and all of a sudden people think that that is the top level of dirt racing, and sprint cars and stuff is where 14-year-olds learn how to drive, that's not really a good thing. We have some cheeseburger soup being slid in. Once again, we are at the Coffee Connection downtown Knoxville. But I think a lot of people in the regular world view a sprint car as a 14-year-old a developmental race car where kids learn how to drive before they go to NASCAR, because that's how they only hear about them.
Right, you're right.
You know, and then when Kyle Larson comes in races, you have people saying, I don't think NASCAR drivers should drop down to lower divisions. It's like, sprint car is not a lower division, in my opinion. You know, in my opinion, sprint car is a higher division when it comes to competition compared to a NASCAR race. So that's
the best example of that is number 24 NASCAR guy who
Alex Bowman.
Goes through midgets, sprint cars.
Are you talking about Alex Bowman or
No, I'm talking about
Jeff Gordon?
Jeff Gordon.
Well, I mean, I mean, he started it, in my opinion. I mean, you know how they say video killed the radio star? I say Jeff Gordon killed the sprint car star. Because if you look at how the structure went of the stardom of a sprint car driver, Steve Kinser, Sammy Swindell, Doug Wolfgang, that were our stars in the 80s. And then all of a sudden, it became a cool thing, a co-trickle thing, you know, to go from sprint car racing to NASCAR and race Rowdy or Dale Sr., and now that's your new superstar. And if you notice the trend, like you said, 5 years old in a go-kart, 14 in a sprint car, NASCAR at 18 to 24, that is who started that trend. And you look at the stars of sprint car racing since Jeff Gordon, it's been Code Trickles, Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, Casey Kane, Larson and Bell today. And without those drivers, we may not even have a full sprint car field. You take Tony Stewart Racing and Casey Kane Racing out, and you got, what, 9, 8 cars, 7 cars maybe? I mean, so, I mean, that's kind of a dilemma as well. But what's your opinion of Gravel last night? What'd you think?
What do you mean, my opinion?
What'd you think of how he ran? It looked, the one thing I noticed for those watching, it is extremely hard to qualify well and to make the A main. I don't think there was a top qualifier that really. Yeah, you got to start 8th, I think, in your heat race, and they take the top 4. I mean, that's hard to do. I don't think a top qualifier even made the A main out of the heat race last night. It was.
In my opinion, the Outlaws got a taste of their own medicine.
What do you mean?
Fast cars starting on the pole all the time.
Yeah.
You win good example. You run your heat. You could start a 12-car heat. You could pass 6 cars up to 5th or 6th place and not make the show.
That's true.
And the guy starts on a pole, never passes a car.
Never passes the cars on the front row of the A main.
Right. Or the fast qualifier starts on the pole of the B and doesn't even run a lap. That's bullshit.
Well, that's true. I mean,
and again, the guy passes 6 cars and he's out of the show.
it's just that. Y'all are out of here? All right. They are out of here. I've talked them out of the building. That's what happened. No, I'm just playing. They were scheduled to leave. The guy over here is laughing, eating his cheeseburger soup, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, we are here now trying to share the feed around once again live at the Coffee Connection in downtown Knoxville. Of course, Knoxville Week being presented here by the Little Speed Shopping, making a relocation to Oklahoma. Quarter midgets is what they specialized in, the USAC scene. But now they're going to be getting into more outlaw karts. They've been in outlaw karts, but obviously more outlaw kart, micro racing scenes in the state of Oklahoma. So check them out. Just sharing things around. If you want to come on into the Coffee Connection, it's right downtown Knoxville. Look it up on your phone. Great food, great coffee. They got a special coffee list. I'm actually trying today the A main. And I did a half calf because caffeine is technically a drug. I'm not going to say it too loud because there's a kid off to the side. I don't want to ruin his coffee. But half calf, kind of be a little safe on it. You know, don't want to wire up too much today. But they got good food, salads, soups, wraps, sandwiches. You could do like the gentleman over here, he got a sandwich and a cheeseburger soup cup. It's like $7, right? Or something like that. And he's got a bottle of water. You can go tap or you can go bottle water. It's up to you if you want to recycle. That's not on me. But I'm just saying, it is really good. I did have the cheeseburger soup. I felt a little guilty because it's cheese. You know, it's cheese. It's high cholesterol. But just saying. Did you hear that? Oh God, I'm in trouble now. People are hearing me talk about high cholesterol in a coffee shop. I'm gonna be kicked out before this one's over. Anyway, so David Gravel picks up the win last night. Let's look at some highlights. We'll pull up some highlights real quick. It was interesting. Obviously, I have the new David Gravel shirt on. It's very ironic that I went and met Maureen, which Maureen Gravel is David's mom. Very nice lady. She can be mean sometimes, but it depends on what I say. Now, of course, 2 years ago, me and David kind of got to know each other because I said the fix is in when the Exalta car came out, and he swept the week at Knoxville. And I basically called it before it happened. But David's a good guy. I challenge him from time to time, and that's just what happens. So, Maureen Gravel, I'm like, hey, where's y'all's T-shirts? Let me wear a few drivers like Tanner Holmes. I have his shirt. I wore it. I had J.J. Ringo's shirt on yesterday. I'm like, hey, give me the shirt. I'll wear it on the show tomorrow. So she gives me this shirt, the new David Gravel shirt from Watertown, Connecticut. It says on there, which, I mean, he's relocated to Florida. I think it would be cool if he would say Florida, but I guess it's not cool to be from Florida. You got to be from Connecticut. Anyway, so David Gravel gives me the shirt, goes out there, performs, and wins. And like I was just talking with them, something I really noticed that's really hard to do here in Knoxville is to qualify well and then make the A main out of the heat. You got to start 8th if you're a top qualifier. David Gravel, I believe, was the second fastest. He started 7th in his heat race and made it up into the transfer, into the 4th spot. But you had guys like Dietrich, Schuhart, and others. I mean, quick qualifier, Brooke Tatnall, they're in like C mains. You know, that was just kind of insane to see. And hopefully tonight the track's going to widen out a little bit more. Of course, in the A main, David Gravel kind of sat back and waited for Justin Henderson to make a mistake. Henderson kind of got passed late by Giovanni Scelzi. And then how about the run from Shots? I mean, a lot of people are underestimating how good Shots actually looked last night. I mean, and I said to some people here recently that Shots is kind of, I know he's had a struggling year, but these last couple of weeks, he's definitely stepped it up, I think. Last couple of weeks, he's been running strong, consistent. And Shots is one of those guys that if he starts figuring out, you know, this Ford thing a little bit better and a little bit better, and that team and that crew starts hitting their marks, they're going to be a contender, and I think they kind of showed that. I mean, he had a really strong run. There was a long green flag run there where he was running down cars, passing them, running in the bottom where no one else was. I do think that sometimes when one guy's running a line that no one else is and is running down people, that dirty air is probably playing a little bit of a factor. If you got all the cars on the top, obviously the bottom of the track's kind of some clean air. So if you can use that to your advantage, even though the bottom may be slower, in that cleaner air where no one else is, you can make up some ground. But I still saw Shots run strong. And then he beat Justin Henderson. I mean, he was behind Justin Henderson by like 10 car lengths at the white flag. And he came by and passed him I think he beat him by at least 2 car lengths at the flag stand. So Shots looked strong. Of course, David Gravel was the star of the night, picked up the win. And go check out the T-shirt trailer, new design. This is not the design you've seen earlier in the year. This is the new design from David Gravel in the 2 car. And they're running strong, and it'll be interesting to see. And then, of course, we got to talk about tonight. Let's look at this. Let's look at this entry list. I was going to bring up the highlights from last night, but I did get in trouble talking with Robbie Kendall about him beating Larson in PA, and Flo threw up like a little, oh, you can't show our video. So I don't even want to test Dirt Vision because Flo's way nicer than Dirt Vision, I guarantee it. So looking at the entry list of tonight, it is stacked. The gentlemen that were just in here, they were saying, imagine how hard it is to pick 24 cars to make the A main out of the list that you're reading. And that's, I mean, we just keep scrolling here, and there's really not a bad name on the list. I mean, right at the top of the screen, you got Jacob Allen coming around, been running strong. Logan Wagner, PA, I mean, that is Mr. Port Royal, the Wagner family, which the Wagner family is racing tonight. Not only young Logan Wagner, but his dad, Mike Wagner, who's really good in his own right, racing both. So the Wagner family is flying in. As for those who don't know it, Logan Wagner is a pilot. So I'm interested to see how he's going to do that. He is the pilot or the driver of the Zimco, the famous Zimco car that Billy Pouch made very famous. Logan Wagner is driving that car. So when you see the Zimco car tonight, you're like, oh, I wonder who that is. That's Logan Wagner, Mr. Port Royal. Dylan Stisney. Funny, I say Mr. Port Royal. There's a guy who lives in Port Royal, literally down the street from the racetrack. Runs well, is also around that facility. Kevin Engel, Sawyer Phillips, can't deny him. We got PA all up in these first couple entries, because then you get the Brock Zierfoss, of course, went on the Outlaw Tour this year. Kind of had some struggles, wrecks. Weren't necessarily his fault, but has struggled a little bit. Paul McMahon. This was kind of one of the most interesting drivers of the year to be in the CJB number 5, because the CJB number 5 was thinking Brett Marks and then Buddy Kofoid, and then they had to go to Zeb Wise. So, but Paul McMahon got in this car, has been running strong. Right below him, Kobe Copeland, a California sprint car driver who is fast, quick. It wouldn't surprise me if he's one of the 24, especially with how this invert goes. I know that a lot of the newer drivers to the scene that are just here for the Nationals, they're going to probably struggle qualifying. They're not used to Knoxville at all. They're not an outlaw racer or something like that comes here and has a lot of laps on the track. So they're going to struggle in qualifying, but all you got to be is top 4 to make the A, and when you're inverting the qualifying order 4 rows, you can be a low qualifier and start on the pole of the heat race and then start up front in the A main. This is how Trey Starks won a few years ago. Right below Kobe Copeland, Parker Price Miller in the Guy Forbrick car. He's looked fast in kind of everything he's got into. Tyler Courtney, of course, Kings Royal winner already. Picked up the Kings Royal at the last month in July, the same night that Larson. So we have, of course, Larson is further down the list. You didn't see him run last night, so both Kings Royal champions, or kings, or whatever, racing tonight at the Thursday edition of the Knoxville Nationals. Dustin Salvage from Indianola here. Matt Joel, very strong local. Jess Swindell. Now, I don't really know what to think about Jess Swindell at this point. He's in a 10 car. I don't know if that's the Dave Blaney 10, but here's what I got to say. Last time I saw Jess Swindell race was at Riverside International Speedway 3 weeks ago. And Matt Covington cleanly passed Jess Swindell, and then on the last corner, Jess Swindell threw a bonsai slider that wrecked 3 cars. So, hope that doesn't happen tonight, but just saying, he's ready to pull some moves if he has to sell another bleeder. Craig Kinzer in the 11K, of course, former Knoxville Nationals champion. I know that's hard to think of because of how Craig Kinzer runs today, although he had a good run in the New York swing that they just had. But Craig Kinzer, Knoxville Nationals, what? Really? How did that happen? Well, he did it. And who knows? Maybe he could do it again. Harley White, been running very strong in the state of Oklahoma this year. Kind of doing more 410 stuff, 360 things. You see her in that recognizable black 11N car. Very strong female lady racer. Of course, this is the driver. You probably heard the story that got burnt up really bad. Had to go to the hospital with the Shriners, built back up and was running ASCS. Was saved in the burning car by Donnie Ray Crawford. And the whole tragedy that happened at the Chili Bowl, that all tied together. And it's just a interesting story with Harley White. So it'll be interesting to see how she does tonight. She was at the Capitani Classic. 11T TJ Stutz, another strong PA racer. I mean, really, it's crazy how I'm able to name off all these names and actually know a little bit about them on how good they've actually done or been or any accomplishments. That's how strong this field is. But anyways, TJ Stutz, very accomplished Pennsylvania racer, fast, going to be a hard contender here tonight. Right below him, 11TK of Tim Kading in a very beautiful Kinzer throwback paint scheme. It's hit or miss with Tim Kading. You never know. I mean, he could win the race or he could, miss it a little bit and be off. But Tim Kading's still good. Brad Ryan, rookie from Missouri. Tyler Eshley, I'm getting into a few that I don't know. But Tyler Esch is from Pennsylvania as well. Very strong weekly competitor. Carrie Matson, of course, in the 14 Tony Stewart machine. Some people are saying that's kind of like a favorite, a non-outlaw, non-weekly guy in Iowa to be a contender, Carrie Matson. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. And look how strong he ran at the outlaw shows earlier in the year. You keep going down the list. Sam Hafertepe Jr. This is for once, I don't know why I keep having to remember or remind everyone, this is technically the fastest man in motorsports. This is technically the world's fastest sprint car driver because this is the track record holder at the Bristol Motor Speedway, Sam Hafertepe Jr. Been accomplished, ran an ASCS race, I believe, last weekend and won it. First time, just jumped in it and won. You never know. Once again, Sam Hafertepe Jr. could show out, could not. You never know. Right behind him, Bobby Mincer, and then, of course, Austin McCarl. McCarl's always going to be a strong contender. Bill Baylog, the Newport Nightmare, or whatever they're called, Newport or Alaska, North Pole. Sorry, Newport Nightmare is Jimmy Owens. North Pole Nightmare, Bill Baylog. Sorry, I've been in the late model world a little bit. IRA Destroyer. I mean, would anybody disagree that when Bill Baylog goes to IRA, he destroys them? Another strong contender. Right below him, Shane Golobic, who had a very strong run at the Capitani Classic and the 360 Nationals. And then Brett Marks, who seems to be like the underlying best driver out of PA, but doesn't get the clout that a Dietrich or DeWeese does. I don't understand that. Like, Brett Marks is probably the best showing resulted Pennsylvania driver outside and possibly inside PA the last year or two, and he doesn't have this big clout name carrying with him like a Dietrich or DeWeese. It just doesn't make sense to me. Brett Marks is a contender tonight, in my opinion. Noah Gass, rookie from Oklahoma, been doing some 410 races, did the Midwestern swing with the All-Star Circuit of Champions. Brian Brown, people are just saying, what do you think about Brown? What do you think? I mean, I like Brian Brown. Casey's is a good place, you know. Their coffee's hot, you know. But I don't like pizza. High in, a lot of cheese, high in cholesterol, not doing it. Maybe a veggie pizza. Maybe a veggie pizza from Ron Rutherford's Mama Pizza in Pennsylvania. You know, homemade, stone oven, but not this microwave stuff. You know. So, Brian Brown, I'm sorry, I don't like your Casey's Pizza. But a lot of people are doubting you. But this year you have the Rowdy Energy logo on the car. So you have the Rowdy Energy logo on the car. So Rowdy Energy plus pizza might equal a win. I'm not sure. Some people know what I'm saying right now. Some people don't. But a lot of people are just saying, you know, Brian Brown's one of those guys, if it was a 25-lap race and not a 50-lap race or 40 or something, that they would see him winning it. But they feel like when it comes to the last 5-10 laps, that Brown's not as strong as he needs to be. And that's kind of a fair comparison from what they've seen in years past, because they've seen Brown lead laps. They've seen him be up front, but then later in the race, he falls out. Somebody comes on strong, and he ends up losing. It'll be interesting. Brian Brown, though, with Danny Lasowski back, you know, helping out with the wrenches. What do you think? What do you think, Brian Brown? No, yes, maybe so? Or is it still one of those, like you said, late race kind of deals, you know?
He was close there. What year was that? He was close.
I think it was 2018. Or was it 19? No? Yeah, on 19, I think he led laps. That was the year Gravel won? No.
14, 15, where he was up front. I think he passed Donnie for the lead. I think maybe he had the lead, and Donnie passed him, and he passed him back.
Now, are you from here?
No, I'm from Utah.
Utah. Oh, wow, Utah.
I'm from Draper. Well, I'm not from there. I live in Draper, Utah.
So are you Mormon?
Car capital of Utah.
Mormon?
No.
Well, that's when I hear Utah, I think Mormons.
Well, everyone does.
Which good people. No hatred.
I moved there. No, I love it there. There's just no sprint car racing.
There is sprint car racing in Utah?
No. There's one dirt track.
And then there's asphalt sprint car racing, right?
We did have an asphalt track in Salt Lake City, and it had its last year. With COVID, everything's a blur. I guess 2019 was the last year.
Well, there was a guy named Larry Smith who apparently races out there or something. And he was trying to get me to go out there and run some asphalt and dirt races in the sprint car division, but
I think they ran. I know they ran super modified once in a while.
Okay.
On that oval. I never saw it because I've only lived there a few years.
Well, anyway, Brian Brown.
We're
We'll
getting
stay
off
on.
track.
Yeah, we.
Brian Brown, I don't really have a dog in the fight. I'm not a fan. I'm not a hater. I think I love the way he conducts himself with the fans and everything. I think it's awesome. And,
I know one guy who
I'd love
does.
to see him. I'd love to be here if he wins it.
I know one guy who doesn't like him, and and it's weird. It's the local fans that kind of blows their mind. And I was explaining it to somebody who asked, "Why does that guy hate him? He comes here every week." It's like and they were from PA. It's like a Deweese deal.
Yeah.
Like over there in
The guy who wins a
PA,
lot.
the guy who wins a lot. Now imagine there only being one Deweese. Like when Brian Brown shows up here, he just destroys them. Oh, you know, I mean, no one likes seeing that. You know, so that.
I think, what we were starting to say, neither one of us can remember what year it was, but he was there at the end, and Donnie ended up winning it.
2019, he won that Brownell outlaw race. I think that's what he did in 2019. He won an outlaw race.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the Nationals.
I wish I could, but I'm sure people listening would know. But I thought back then, well, this is one of those races that they say you gotta lose it a couple of times before you win it.
Right.
And so he's done that now, and I felt like he was on the verge of winning it back then, and then he kind of hasn't been close for a few years. But he looks close to getting that.
We have somebody who just walked in with the Brian Brown shirt, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
had the video on and away.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
A couple years ago.
Oh my God!
Not the last Nationals,
Oh my!
19.
We just need to set up the chairs now. It's getting late in the week.
You mind?
I don't care. You can sit there. You can talk crap. We were just talking crap. We actually just got to Brian Brown's name. We have people coming around the table now, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we got a round table discussion happening. We are about to start problems, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to start problems in the Coffee Connection because we get to Brian Brown's name. We start talking about locals who have a problem with Brian Brown, and there is not a chirp in the room, but there is a birdie, and there's a guy called the Birdman, and he's sitting right over there. Actually, y'all mad at the Birdman video, and he does not like Brian Brown at all. They call him the Birdman because every time Brian Brown comes by, he flicks Brian Brown off. That's what happens. This is real. It's a dilemma.
Is it?
He hates
And
Brian Brown.
he's in the room?
That's him right over there. I'm not even lying.
Oh, that's him. Okay. All right.
Oh my God, his wife over there is like, shut the hell up. You're gonna get us beat up by the guy with the brown shirt.
Here's the thing: when you live in Utah,
Oh God, in Utah, we're going.
and
to
you
Utah.
get to go to, I go to Ohio Speed Week, Kings Royal,
where I'm
Nationals. You're from Utah?
I'm from Ohio.
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 Yeah.
But that's two people this week. That's
So
from Ohio.
every sprint car race I go to, I gotta get on a plane, rental car, hotel. So I just go to the big ones. I don't get to go enough to hate anybody. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like,
I'm glad the Ohio Speed Weeks is big enough that it can end up
So-
on somebody's
Don't
list.
you still have like dirt vision and stuff that can get you into the
I guess I just,
rivalries and things? I mean, flow covers everything there is. I mean,
yeah. I mean, like everyone else, when I would come out here, anybody but Donnie. But that's just because that's what we all do, right? You want to see a different winner.
That's what we all do. Okay, here's would be my question. We're gonna somewhat get off the Brown deal, almost the same thing.
Yeah,
It's like
sure.
how some local fans, like the Birdman over there, doesn't like Brown because he wins every time. We always it's natural.
But
Anybody but Donnie. No, here's what I'm leading to. Anybody but Donnie, because whoever wins all the time, people just seem to start hating that guy. Except if your name is Kyle Larson. Why is that okay? Is that the most hold on, is that not the most celebrated dominance of a sport in the history of sports? I mean, what's up with that?
We were joking, me and my group here that I come to the Nationals with every year, a few years ago, the Let Kyle race and all that. We were joking back then, like how long before we all start booing him?
Well, it was exciting. It's like last year where he lost his cup ride. He ends up in the All-Star Tour. And he dominated, and personally for me, after a while, I kind of got tired of just watching him dominate. I get he's an awesome driver, all-around awesome driver. And I'm with you, Chaz. His fans are driving everybody
But the fans
freaking
are the problem.
bonkers.
I think it puts dirt racing in a bad light. You never hear about Kyle Larson when he runs fifth, like you said a month ago. He ran 5th and 7th, struggled to get 5th. You don't hear about that by NASCAR. You only hear about his victories when you only hear about his victories from NASCAR. Because if they put it out that he runs 5th or 7th, that makes it look like dirt racing is really good.
Yeah.
Whereas if they can say our NASCAR guy just goes in there and beats these, lower level people, it makes it look like a subpar level of racing. It makes it look like AAA. And I want dirt racing to grow, and I understand that in America we don't like second best. In America we don't like Robin, we like Batman. I ain't going to AAA baseball, but I'll go to an MLB game right now.
Yeah.
So that's the perception that we have to project, in my opinion, for dirt racing to grow, is this is a Batman sport. We got some of the best, and I see how NASCAR marketing uses it. And then the fans are the warriors of that sport.
When I got to argue with somebody who thinks that nothing taken from Kyle, but you cannot call the guy the greatest of all time at what is he, 28 years old now?
Well,
he's the best all-around driver right now, but you can't take nothing away from Donnie at this point, 300 wins and climbing. Kaiser with all his wins.
Well, I think they say because he can drive everything and all that, but once again, who gets to drive everything? He's the only guy driving all these different cars, so you're comparing him to nobody.
Yeah, it's true.
You're comparing him to literally nobody.
Yeah.
But
he will be,
I
but
think
not
it's
now.
how we can see how everybody would boo Brown because he wins all the time. We can see how anybody but Donnie. But for some reason,
well, where's Brown at right now in points here? Knoxville, second, third.
Something like that. I'm not sure.
I haven't watched too much of the Knoxville regular racing, but I mean, he's struggling. He finished second at the front row challenge, but I mean, he was fast.
So you're a Brown fan, obviously, and we were kind of talking about this before he walked in. We were running down the list and talking about people's chances,
on the way in.
chances and all that. So, what do you think of Brian Brown? You got the shirt on. He's going to be flicking him off tonight. Are you going to be cheering for him or what?
Yeah. Last night for me was shoe hard.
And you're from Ohio.
I'm from Ohio.
How did you become a Brown fan?
When we first started coming here, didn't really know much about him, and after starting to watch him, and I always did like that old white car. And then seeing what he was doing in the last few years, finishing runner-up, struggling coming up through the field. He's been fast. He's always been fast.
Right.
I don't really have too much of how I became a Brian Brown fan. I mean, I like multiple drivers. Tonight, for me, it's Brown. I mean, he's got his uncle wrench on the car. He's getting fast.
Probably the saddest thing I've seen in the last 2 years of motorsports. I was at Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania for a 20,000 to win one-night show, and there were only 20 cars because just like how the corporatism of World Outlaw Racing is, the corporatism in PA, like the click-based decisions that who can be where and the teams and with the owners, it's bad over there too. 20,000 to win, 20 cars or whatever. Brown was one of them though. And you couldn't, they had a red flag, and everywhere else in the country you can work tires, add fuel, all this. In this event, you couldn't work tires, and they didn't know. They came out and started working the tires. He's leading the race, pretty much has it sewed up, and they DQ him basically from the race for working his tires during the midway point break. That's pretty sad.
Yeah.
That's pretty sad. So maybe he'll, go ahead.
I wanted to just make a comment about back to everybody, people hating on Brown and doing Raymer.
Raymer, yeah, the
but
rivalry.
I will also predict that the same people that don't want to see Brown win their weekly show, don't like him, root against it, whatever. If he wins that thing on Saturday night, those people will be on their feet. They'll be cheering.
Well,
except the Birdman. He won't be cheering. He might. You never know.
He was at the trailer signing autographs yesterday. I haven't. So you gonna win this thing?
Apparently they had a 5 o'clock pizza party with them yesterday at Casey's.
Yes,
they did. Were you there?
If you're what I saw him handing out pizza to kids out onto the thing. So if that's what you're talking about, it might have been. Yeah.
Okay.
It was around that time. So yeah.
It's funny. The name right below Brian Brown is Jack Hoddenchild in his 22 car.
Throwback.
It's a beautiful race car. I think Sheldon's car is really nice too. If y'all want to get some food or something, I'm telling you, this place has got some. I got one.
Jack's my childhood hero. So.
Jack is your childhood hero. Now, what attracted you to him? Was it this Pennzoil scheme when you first saw him?
I love just the way he runs.
His track's an hour and a half from where I live. And unfortunately, I haven't
What is
ever
that?
made
Wayne County?
Yep. And unfortunately, it's been on my list to make it down through there. You go to the House Spring Speed Weeks. I live there, and that's one of my things. I keep telling my wife, I want to take a week off, follow the whole tour.
Yeah,
and get
really
around.
cool this year.
It looks like a Dusty Bowl area, but honestly, I think that causes great racing when the track slicks off.
I've never seen. I mean, I've only been there about 5 times. I only get there for Speed Week, but I've never seen a bad race there.
We're at Wayne County, yeah. And what's that little short track that y'all got over there?
Waynesfield. You talking about
I think
Waynesfield?
so. It's like a quarter. It's the one where Zeb Wise went off the track and flipped into the trees or something this year. It was the one Larson won. He won the race.
Is it Waynesfield?
Maybe.
Yeah, it was new for this year, wasn't it? New on the.
No, they've had it for a few years now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tracks you don't hear about in Ohio that are really good.
There's nothing there. You pull in, it's a little oval in the middle of a cornfield, real modest.
Yeah, that makes sense because the cornfields are in the background. Yeah.
Oh yeah, my home track's Sharon Speedway.
Oh yeah.
And if you could have been there when I was growing up, they just put that clay in the last.
No, I've been there a lot of times.
Were you there where it was dirt?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I've been there when it was the big.
There, you were there.
No, okay. The only thing I hear about Sharon now is that
I'm old. I've been around.
All right. I don't know how far.
No, I used to live in Charlotte.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're from the web, Charlotte's Web.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I lived in Charlotte.
All right. Okay.
There used to be Dave Blaney had that driving.
Well, and then y'all's
friends with those
closest
guys,
dirt track there is Gaffney, which is a big. They have some big late model races at Gaffney. Big money races.
I never went. I went to a couple of those, and I mean,
it's
just not my thing.
That track facility-wise is pretty off. I mean, it's pretty bad.
There's a lot of that down there.
I know. It's like you would think they
7 classes.
I know,
They don't care
man.
if it takes all night. And by the time you're sitting through your 3rd B feature for
some street stock, yeah.
You're ready to go home.
Pro Hornet,
Pro Hornet,
4-cylinder,
Great Hornets,
beginner 4-cylinder, Pro 4-cylinder, Expert 4. It's like
oh my God, it's right. Oh my God,
it's like the exact
right.
opposite of here. Like, you know.
Well, my deal with Sharon. You bring up Sharon. Y'all was kind of talking about it. It has, from video, it's been the biggest Dust Bowl in Ohio.
Well, it wasn't dusty, it was slick. They just couldn't get it's like ice.
Well,
clay.
And
we run on a regular basis. I work on. A friend of ours built a pro stock, and he runs a modified, so we run there weekly, every once in a while, once they change the stuff up. But 2 weeks ago, it rained at like 2 in the afternoon, and it was the heaviest track I've seen at Sharon. It was beautiful. They ran the sprint cars there. They don't run them full time now. It's a $3,000 to win every. I think it was their 7th race of the season. The track was beautiful. One line on the bottom. They weren't up against the guardrail during qualifying. It was the best night of racing. And the local kid, Adam Kekich, won that night.
Now, probably, and there goes the Birdman, ladies and gentlemen. LongLiveTheChaz.com for your Birdman shirt.
We're seeing Victor Lane with Madsen.
Well, with Madsen, what about Macedo? He's running tonight. Anybody?
Big on his car.
Oh, they don't like the gold.
I haven't seen it up close.
Some people don't like the gold.
Yeah.
I seen the picture and I was like, that's kind of neat. Then I just seen it and I was like, I don't like
We
it.
walked by and
Wait
you could see
till
it.
I'm wondering how it'll look under the lights.
Under the lights.
Yeah, how it shot, because that car's actually painted. It's not a wrap of gold. It's a paint of gold flake, I think
And
it
doesn't
is.
even look like gold. It's more of a yellow.
What's
Yeah,
like, my wife
that's
said
why
that
he's saying
Sheldon-
lights. How's the
Sheldon's
lights?
car last
See how it
night, they
looks
said it
on the
looked good on TV. She couldn't make it. She's back home. I let her buy the Dirt Vision package, so she was like, "It looks great on TV." She goes, "It don't really look like that much in the photos."
Who?
Sheldon's car.
It does look cool. It does to me.
You know, it don't.
It doesn't
It
look,
even
when
looks
you're there in
better on
person,
TV,
you can
she
barely
said.
see it.
Yeah.
It just looks like a black car with an
Yeah,
orange
it does.
number.
I kept losing track of him last night.
Yeah.
I kept confusing him and Boffman's car out
Yeah.
there.
Yes, I agree. I agree with that.
Where'd he start last night? Because I looked up after like the last caution. I don't think he really ever moved up.
Well, and that's what I was talking about earlier, man. It is so.
think that's where he
It's
stayed.
almost impossible to qualify well. If you're starting 8th in the heat, you're done. I mean,
He
what was
had
it?
motor issues during hot laps. And nobody really ever said what he had going on. 'Cause he went out, didn't even make a hot lap, pulled in.
I saw them pushing Donnie's car around with the hood off last night. But
It was a
not
head
Sheldon.
on.
Well, he
hot
performed
night.
well.
Whatever they did worked.
Yeah, Donnie looked strong, I thought.
For me, it was Schuhart last night. I was really surprised at how fast he was able to come up through the field. I was kind of worried there for a minute.
Where did he end up?
7th.
7th? That I believe he was in a.
Started 24th. He
But
was in the B.
he was in the C, I think.
Yes.
He was in.
he in the
He
C?
won the C.
No, he started
I
up
think
front in the B. He won the
He
B.
was in the B.
He won the B,
Yeah.
but if he started 24th, that means he was the last transfer
See, from the B.
from the B.
Yeah.
So he couldn't have started up front. I thought I saw him in the
He
C.
started
main.
3rd or 4th in the B, I think.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Yeah, he
let's confirm on this because I'm interested now.
only
We
we
might as
had
well
a-
get some results
If only
up.
we had a global online database at our fingertips.
Oh, you assholes! You assholes! I swear.
That's
We're
the
working
new
on it,
setup,
ladies and
man.
gentlemen.
It's better than that little gold microphone you had a couple years
I know
ago.
the gold mic. Remember the
Gold
gold
mic.
mic? The gold mic was it, bro. We were putting on a show with the gold mic, and the fix was in. The fix was in.
Fix was in.
And there's Brad Sweet. You know when I ran across Caitlin the other day. You remember when I
I
came?
saw the photo.
So Brad Sweet's mom was there, and of course that's Caitlin's mom. And I was like, "Oh, so you're a Puma?" And then everybody started laughing. and then Caitlin's like, "Yeah, Mom, you need to be called the Puma." I thought it was funny.
Everybody gets a nickname in racing.
All right, so let's see what happened last night. Qualifying: Brooke Tatnall, Gio Scelzi, Logan Schuhart, Danny Dietrich, Roger Crockett. Okay, so there was 4 heats, I think, right?
5.
Okay, so Roger Crockett. So I don't think have they released the overall points?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Schuhart's sitting 4th right now.
Gio's got the 487.
Something like that.
Okay, so yeah, the last chance showdown: Schuhart 1, Tatnall 2nd, Dietrich 3rd, Don Drown 4th. But look, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, it was so hard to be a quick qualifier and get out of those heat races. It was just insane. I think Gio Scelzi was the only one within the top 4 spots or 5 spots there to even make it.
It's a Schuhart almost got a transfer spot. He spent a couple. Who was he battling with? He spent too much time trying to get around a couple different guys. Who was in his heat? Was it the black and yellow card? I can't remember who he was battling with. Ended up finishing.
Don Drown?
It might have been. He ended up finishing 5th. 5th in his heat.
Trying to find the overall points now. This is just so hard to find. Oh, man. Let's see here.
It seems like that's
Where are you finding them?
It was the cool Facebook sprint car fan pages that everybody pitches.
Oh, so you found it on
posted.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Of course, Twitter's all that matters.
Well, this was on Facebook.
Yeah,
they
that's the
borrowed
World
from
Outlaws Twitter,
I
yeah.
think it's on Facebook, by the way.
So Gio
It is on
shots, gravel,
Facebook?
Schuhart.
I'm not. You trying to distract me here? Because I was just
Help
on
with
there. I was just on their Facebook, and I didn't see it anywhere. So hold on, we're getting to it. I see David Gravel with the title defense.
That wasn't surprising last night either.
That wasn't. World of
He's gonna be
Outlaws.
hard
Let's
to
see
beat
here.
again this year.
Then
So
we'll start booing him then.
I guess. I mean,
oh, did you see the 83 Roth car throwback? I didn't know that they do that. Oh, yeah, look at this. We got a throwback announcement here on the show.
There's so many throwbacks.
The
so
Roth
I don't know what year it
83.
is.
I think they could have did a better job than that.
I have a picture of that car next to Mark Kenzer at home. I think it was at Sharon. I don't know who was driving at the time though.
For some reason,
Shots in 2nd.
Yeah.
477.
yeah. See, I'm trying to find that on their YouTube or on their Twitter.
All you gotta do is go to Knoxville Raceway.
Is it on
.com?
is it on Knoxville?
Where's
Go to
it
the
at?
app to have it.
All right, raceway.com, and then where?
Do you have the Knoxville app?
I don't have the
Go
app
to
on the
Just
screen.
go where it says David Gravel continues Knoxville.
All right,
And then you have to scroll all the way down.
all right. And then there's the points. So Giovanni Scelzi's the top point man.
Yeah.
Donnie Schott 2nd. David Gravel 3rd. Logan Schuhart 4th. And Brooke Tatnall 5th, man.
Is it?
That's how important qualifying is. You really
He
don't
went out,
have
what,
to do
first?
much.
First
I
or
mean,
second? Or the first 2 cars.
really, it's crazy to think how hard it is to go from 8th to win it. But when you think about how much you get from just qualifying well, points-wise, it's like that big of a deal. You can go to the B main and be Logan Schuhart and be in 4th in points, or Brooke Tatnall was in the B. I'm pretty sure Brooke Tatnall was in the C main. I'm pretty sure he was. Thought I saw him in it. Nope, you're right. But he was in the B. He was in the B. That's pretty impressive. Brooke Tatnall, 5th overall. That's probably, would you not say that's the shock of the, as far as like, you know, picking a random guy to do well, who thought Brooke Tatnall would be 5th in overall points? Quick time, you know. Who would have thought that?
I wouldn't have coming in.
James McFadden, Justin Henderson, Justin Peck.
McFadden looked fast last night too. He was pushing up the field.
And how about, I mean, I don't know how to really give him too much credit, but Josh Bachman in 10th. Did anyone see that? At 10th overall. Josh Bachman's ahead of Spencer Baston, Corey Eliason, Sheldon Hodenschild. I mean, that's a name of a list right there. Let's see if we can find like a really...
And he's not run much, right?
No, just a few races.
Very, very slim.
Good for him.
Let's see, who's the heartbreaker of them all so far? Tim Schaefer, 30th. It's kind of been an up and down year for him, though.
Yeah, different car changes. I was hoping he'd get back in the Red Tick car.
I feel like a lot of people thought more of Anthony Macri this year.
Boy,
And he's 25th.
am I making this up? He was coming pretty strong at the end of the B there, it looked like.
He was.
Right.
He was.
Just ran out of laps.
Dietrich
I
just
think.
ran out.
Trying to see some other maybe we thought would do better but didn't. Jason Sides is back there. McKenna Hassey's back there. I mean, nobody really expected much from those.
I figured Dobmeyer would be better.
Yeah, Dynamite. Where did he end up? Where is he at on this list?
He's 36.
That's a big. Yeah, that's a fault.
I figured.
How many races has he been in since he got back?
Two or three. He's won 2 of them.
Yeah.
But I would say shock performances of the night. Brooke Tatnall and Josh Bachman. That's probably the shock performances of last night.
I think the way the cars seems like they can't transfer anymore because everybody's equal, and the track's usually fast on Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, it's hard.
Why not push the feature up to 30 laps?
Well, and my point,
They used to.
even
Or,
on,
I'm sorry, what is it? Is it 20?
25 laps.
25.
It's 25. Why not make it 30?
30.
Okay.
Or did they cut it back to try to keep the fast guys
Last
from
night
all
went
being
by
over?
quick,
I don't
too.
know. I don't know the history on that.
Yeah.
well, the old lady didn't think it went by quick. Up till 4 a.m. and everything.
Then you wouldn't let her freaking leave.
Oh, what the hell ever. We had to handle things around the corner. But here's the deal. We didn't even make it down the list of tonight, by the way.
Tonight is stacked.
We stopped at Brian Brown. No, we stopped at Jack Hodenschild, and then right next to Jack is the car owner of Jack, Rico.
Tonight's really not stacked.
Oh, bull crap.
Who do you think's
Bull
gonna take it?
crap. Oh, bull crap, it ain't stacked.
What are you talking
Rico.
about? Brian Brown's in there.
Oh, my God, the Birdman is getting...
Here we go.
Shots fired.
No,
There we
I
go.
mean, look, hold on. Let's
Carrie's
go.
been
Rico
incredibly
Abreu.
fast.
Rico, what do you think Rico can do?
Rico doesn't do anything here.
I know that, but he does well at the Chili Bowl. When you look at the track layout, Knoxville is like a giant.
Awesome at I-55.
Oh,
What did he
well.
do last night? It's a short track thing.
Okay, fine.
He won't be able to get up against the fence.
Okay, well, what about Darren Pittman in the Swindell Speed Lab 39,
So you got Pittman.
who almost won 360 Nationals?
So basically, I don't have the list in front of me now.
We got it right here.
So yeah, you got Pittman.
All right. Well,
Then you got
what?
2 people.
We ain't even down the list yet. We're talking about Logan Wagner, Dylan Cisney, Paul McMahon, Parker Price Miller,
If anybody had a
Craig
P8,
Kinzer,
it'll be
TJ
up front, it'll be
Stutz, Tim Kading, Sam Haperteep Jr., Carrie Matson,
I think Brent Marks is.
Shane Golobic, Brett Marks, Brian Brown, Jack Hodenshaw, Rico Abreu. We stopped there, Darren Pittman. Then you still have Carson Macedo, Brad Sweet, Mike Wagner, Kyle Larson, Sammy Swindell, Shane Stewart, Casey Kane, Kel Thomas. I mean, Scotty Thill can be a hit or miss too. I mean, this is not a little list tonight. This is heavier than last night, in my opinion.
Well, you got the front 3 cars from Oskaloosa running tonight, right?
Yeah.
Casey, Brian, and Kyle.
And
Yeah.
those are the ones that you got for the winner, right there.
Yeah.
That's
What about
that's-
Macedo?
That's your 3 options for a winner
Who?
tonight.
Who? Your 3 options to win are
Well,
who?
if they
Larson,
qualify
Brown,
well.
Well,
and
that's the
heat race
thing.
well.
It's
Lars,
not a-
I say Larson's, Brown, Sweet. That's 3.
That's your only
You don't
three.
think Macedo? You can't give Macedo a 4. The guy who swept the outlaw races here.
I really don't think so.
He swept the outlaw races here this year. Macedo.
Yeah, 2 months ago.
I'm just saying, you can't give him a shot at winning over Brad Sweet or
I'm assuming they saved the notebook.
I'm assuming. You can't give him, well, you don't think Brett Marks. You can't give Brett Marks a finger.
Sure, I give it to me, but as far as high up, no.
What about, how deep are you putting that? No. What about Carrie Matson? You can't, there's kids around. You can't, what about Carrie Matson?
Were you one of the ones up last night trying to move the car?
Oh yeah, the car. We had to move the sprint car.
The sprint car, the street legal sprint car.
Oh, down the road from us?
Yeah. You weren't awake at that time, were you? No. Okay.
What time was that? That had been early.
It was like 3:30 in the morning.
I saw it this morning when I woke up.
Okay, so you can't give a finger for Carrie Matson.
Carrie's been incredibly freaking fast in that 14.
Carrie's been good.
So you can't put him in that category? Is that 5 now? We're at the 5 of winners? Like lock winners? We're at 5. You're telling me Larson, Brown.
There you go. Who else did we say there?
Sweet. Larson, Brown, Sweet. I'm saying Macedo. I mean,
Macedo will be up there.
I'm saying
He'll be up there,
Macedo.
but I don't think he's going to win it.
You don't see that as a lock to win? Okay, so you're at Carrie Matson then, even if we're just listening to you. Carrie Matson. So there's 4. There's 4. I want to say Craig Kinzer, but that would be for comical purposes only.
That's your long shot.
So you're saying 4 out of that entire list. I think there's more than that. I think you look at Larson, look at Sweet. Here's what I think: Larson, Sweet, Macedo. I think Pittman's got a shot. That car's good. Pittman, Brian Brown. I think Brett Marks. That's 6. Brett Marks at 6. Carrie Matson 7. I want to say Tyler Courtney 8 because he does go good here, man, and he's a Kings Royal winner. I say you got 8, and then look, like a Logan Wagner with the Zimco car can beat the Outlaws, man. He can beat them. I mean, Sam Haperteep can win. I mean,
he's proven he can.
These are guys. Shane Golobic. I mean, he's good. He's fast. Rico could hit it. You know, you never know with some of these guys. And then Sammy Swindell. Poor old Sammy. And then what about, why are we not even mentioning Shane Stewart in the Indy Race Parts Trackhouse? Pitbull and NASCAR's here. Justin Marks and Pitbull on the side of the Indy Race Parts car. Ray Evernham's in town. Great. Well, that means Jeff Gordon's coming because they're boyfriends. But,
yeah, he was in the outside of gate going out of 2 there. Just happened to see him.
All I know is if you see Ray Evernham, Jeff Gordon, Mark Webber, and David Gravel walk out of a hotel room, something happened. I'm just telling you right now. They just filmed a video that they had to send in to the marketers that own their ass, you know. This is called blackmail, ladies and gentlemen. That's how dark ops work, all right? Yeah, Epstein wasn't just the only one, guys. I'm just saying, Epstein wasn't the only one. But anyway, I think it's stouter tonight than it was last night. Who did you have last night?
I really didn't have it.
Schuhart, Gio, Donnie. I just think tonight is a little bit tougher. And, of course, you got the Larson factor where everybody wants to either watch him win or watch him lose. So, no. Did you hear this crazy David Gravel comment that this guy left on my YouTube page? So when I put my little interview of David Gravel on YouTube, it's up there right now. It's great. The guy says, "You blew it. David Gravel is a suspect." Listen to this. Gravel lived less than 30 minutes from Sandy Hook at the time of the massacre. This is what somebody's actually wrote. He moved to Florida to distance himself from the crime scene. Nobody questioned Gravel, where he was, or what he was doing. Nobody makes the connection between little kids and chocolate milk. Disgusting. And then here's the worst comment of them all. This is the we're gonna have to not only shut down the show, but the rest of the week after this comment. Listen to this. Tom Bush, who owns the 13 Justin Peck car. This guy goes, "Does Tom Bush have an obsession with race car drivers' death? He makes Justin Peck drive a Jason Leffler replica all season. Then he unveils a Kramer Williamson paint scheme for the Nationals. Why not run a Jesse Hockett car with an electrical plug and water puddles?"
That's wrong.
These guys here, man. These guys here. And somehow we smiled at that. That's the sicker part. That this sick, disgusting guy just made us laugh at that. That's how bad that is. That's how bad that is. This is just horrible. And then some guy, calls me an idiot. Of course, we're used to that by now, aren't we? We're used to people calling me a dumbass.
Those are Larsonites.
I hear it from my wife.
What, there's Larsonites here?
No, is that who's calling you?
Oh, you scared me. I thought Caitlin was here. She said she wanted to come see me.
Yeah, that's why I work here, because she wanted to come.
Oh my God! I feel bad for. We started the show describing the old lady's trip, or my wife's trip, I guess. Leaving her business to come here overnight, and then up till 12, going home at 4, waking up at 7, going to work at 8. That was really thoughtful, I guess. So, who's your lock?
For tonight?
For the night. For tonight. Who you, and I did this with Robbie Kendall yesterday. You get to pick who you think's going to win, and then who is a long shot, and then a dark horse is just off the radar. Like, you can basically you pick the one you think's going to win, pick one you hope's going to win, then pick one that like Sammy Swindell. That's a dream for him to win. That would be the off the wall, like
it would be nice, but it would
that
be
70 blue car ain't ever did nothing. It's the car that's controlling him for sure. So who is your lock? We got some heavy.
Hard bet against
Kyle.
Kyle for the lock.
Brad's gonna take it.
You think Brad's sweet? The Puma.
He's gonna take it. He's won this thing, what, twice already? He knows. A lot of money behind him. He can drive.
Something's telling me that if David Gravel with his Sandy Hook story won last night, that a man who has connections with the Pizza Gate of Casey's is gonna win this evening in the 21 machine.
Yeah, you tried to
as
say
he
that.
as
You
he
tried to say that
as he dishes out the pizza to the kids. We know what you're talking about, Epstein Obama. I think Brian Brown is going to pick up the win tonight.
I hope so.
I think we're going to be seeing some Birdmen fly their wings tonight. And for those who didn't see it, we're going to go ahead and play this video. This is the greatest video of all time, ladies and gentlemen. You got to watch this. I know you haven't seen it. This is what we are calling the Birdman, ladies and gentlemen. This is the horrible individual in the room right now. Oh, so he's seen it.
Seen it. I've seen the cover.
He's seen the.
I haven't watched it yet.
Let's fit the screen here.
Is that okay?
Oh, there are shirts available right now. LongLiveTheChaz.com. This is so. If you're gonna get mad at him, to me it's funny. All right, so get over it. Let's see. Let's see. We'll get some volume up here.
Not too loud.
Oh well, yeah, we can't go too loud. I promise you on that one. We can't go too loud. All right, we'll turn. Oh, we're dropping the ball over here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, all right. Let's see if we can get. Top 4 make the transfer, correct? Right? All right. And then in fifth, ladies and gentlemen, trying to make the show at his hometown track, the great Blackjack Brian Brown. Why are you mad at Casey's, bro? What did Casey? Oh. have. Hey, you got content like Larson. One of Larson's wives. When I brought up Larson night, one of the friends was like, "You need to be paying her if you're going to use his name." It's like, no, I coined the phrase. There's documentation. I own that. You can't own that. Anyway, see, now that we did the Birdman video, he can't be around you anymore, Darin. He can't be around you. What was your name, by the way? Jim. Are you gonna be here tomorrow? Probably, yeah. Well, you're in now. You're in the show. Jim is in. What about you? What's your name?
Eric.
Eric from Ohio. Jim from Utah. Eric from Ohio. This is some Egyptian shit going on. Because did you know that apparently they find ancient Egyptian artifacts in Ohio, and they're saying that Egyptians actually traveled to America first, and then they all got fucking like pissed off and killed by Native Americans.
What is it with Ohio people in this?
We always run into Ohio people. Yes, we always run into people from Ohio. We had the volume down there. Sorry. So Jim is gone, and Brad or Eric. Sorry, Brad is the other one. They're confusing me. So for the rest of the week, we're gonna be having. What was it again? Jim. And Eric. This is not South Park, and I'm not Cartman. So no, I'm just playing Eric Cartman.
Any more drivers coming?
Any more drivers coming? I'm trying to get Tanner Thorson in here. David Gravel, I've been texting him. He wants to do it, but David Gravel apparently is obligated all week because he's technically the defending champion. So he has to go to autograph sessions, he has to do banners, presentations, all that stuff. So we're trying to get Gravel in. Once again, this is a new David Gravel shirt, and Maureen, which is his mom, gave me one last night. Very appreciative of that. And once again, our presenting sponsor, we're getting out of here. Your pick is Brad Sweet.
Brad, Brian, Brett.
You said Brad Sweet, though.
Brad to win. I hope Brian would win. And then if anybody's going to come from
Dark
the back,
Horse,
it's gonna be
Brett
Marks.
Brett Marks. Okay, I will say Brian Brown to win. I'll say Dark Horse Sleeper, Logan Wagner for the PA people. And then, and honestly, my hope, and I think this is a hope long shot, Rico Abreu.
Yeah.
That's a real hope long shot with how he's ran. Even though he just ran top 5 at I-55, it's kind of like a Sheldon deal. It's a driving style. So that's our top 3. Well, I guess we could go over here to the comments and see what y'all people are saying. Let me just check to see if you're there. Okay, we got some assholes. Oh God, the Larson Knights are in full swing, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. Yeah, I know the volume was down. Somebody said Larson, Pittman, Baylog. Larson, Courtney Brown.
Baylog would be a good one.
Yeah, Baylog, yes, that's for sure.
I just don't know about Courtney.
Saldana was really fast last year.
He's so up and down here.
Somebody said Saldana. I don't think Saldana's here.
He's not even here.
No, he's not.
He was on the registered
He was on the registered list. He was on the registered list. Now the woman's in here talking, Ashley brooding. Oh my God.
Oh,
Ashley's in here talking now. How is she even awake? She sent me a picture of her face this morning. Oh my God. Look, okay, this is so hilarious. You got to see this. I'm showing this to the viewers. So she sends a picture, and it's this one. It's like wake up early in the morning picture right here. She's like, most tired woman in the world award goes to me, right? So that's the picture right there. She may get mad at this, but I'm showing it anyway because it's so funny. I sent her this back. I said, which Coke causes those eyes? Look at this. I'm just saying. I'm sure it's Coca-Cola. She doesn't do any drugs, but that is drastically tired with like 10 cups of coffee and like Coca-Cola out the buku. Although she says she's quitting Coke, so hopefully she does quit Coke. Both of them, like Coca-Cola. I'm from the South. All Cokes are Coke.
Jeremy's got it right.
That's
listen when she speaks.
Oh my God, whatever. I'm not listening when she speaks. Oh my God. But she did go out of her way, so big shout out. We already said it like 3 times. Somebody said Macedo, Pittman, Marks. Macedo, man, I know we're sleeping, but Phil Dietz knows what to do with that 41 car at this track. I mean, that's what I learned when he came back with Macedo this year, and just instantly that car won both races. That car is good. That 41, whether you like the color of it, you can't deny the defending car that swept the week. You can't deny that as a winning contender. You just can't. No matter how much you think it's an ugly goat, Darin. Birdman.
This has nothing to do with
Oh my God. Well, the woman stopped commenting. I might be single, ladies and gentlemen. So Caitlin, send me a DM. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. But all right, we'll get out of here. It's just past the top of the hour. We pulled another hour show out. I was worried. I got here. I'm all alone. Didn't have a guest. Ended up talking to those guys. He comes over. Y'all show up. It's packed in here. They're selling food, good food. I don't know if you've ate here yet.
No.
I am about to eat here because it is that damn good.
How'd you land this spot?
It's Ashley's fault. It's Ashley's fault because when I go and visit Ashley, her house doesn't have Wi-Fi. So to work on my stuff all week, I have to go to a coffee shop. And I was sitting there last week or 2 weeks ago, and I was like, I could be doing my talk show right here at the coffee shop. Why am I not? And I'm like, oh, Knoxville's coming up. I've been thinking about where to do my shows. Let me see if there's a coffee shop near Knoxville. So checked it out, messaged them. They were interested. I told them, you know, we might have to get security. We might have people coming here and yell and scream. And they were like, oh, it's cool, it's great. And they posted a picture, and all these people were like, fuck the chat. One comment said, if y'all are gonna have that guy there, I can't trust y'all to boil hot water, much less make hot coffee. And they loved it. I think the post with me was their highest reaching post in their whole entire Facebook history or something like that. So that was good. We'll be here tomorrow. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Oh no. There's no more comments. I said something about the woman, and now it's over. I thought the Coke idea was funny.
One fan.
I'll send you in back to him.
Oh my God. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. We'll be here tomorrow. You can come find us downtown Knoxville, the Coffee Connection. Get a drink, get a eat, get what you need. Stop being an alcoholic. Wake up before noon and come say hi to the Chaz. Bye. Little Speed Shoppy presenting sponsor.
All right, we're heading to Walmart.